Patty, what does it take on these nights where it may seem like it's hard to get a flow? What does it take on nights like that to pull through and persevere and get a victory?
As hard as it might be at that point in time, the big picture, I think, understanding the big picture and where we want to be at the end of the day, the last team standing, what it takes to get there. It's hard. It's not easy. Nothing's going to be handed to us on a silver platter. It's a grind. It's a marathon. And nights like tonight, you just got to dig deep and find a way to be infectious in a good way and be able to spread those good vibes on the court, on the bench, no matter what it is. Hustle plays, get the team going. I think the big picture perspective is the answer to your question.
You guys, you get the W, but what kind of challenge is it when you're shorthanded? You just come off of a long road trip, second half of back-to-back. What kind of challenge is it to find that chemistry again with a lot of new faces and figure out ways?
Well, yeah, that's been our challenge over the course of the season already, is finding the chemistry, new pieces to the puzzle and finding ways to make it work. But at the end of the day, it's what we can control. And I think that's where we're at as a group, is trying to understand what we can control and stick with that, and then not let other things kind of waver from that. Defensively, obviously last night, we got given a pretty good lesson on how to able to defend good basketball and good movement, good players, good ball movement. And tonight, not the same movement, but there was glimpses there of playing really good defense. At the end of the day, for us to be the last team standing, we're going to need everyone to be able to make an impact on the floor whenever they enter the game and find ways to be able to inject their juice on the team. So, yeah.
Hey, last night, Steve talked about the offense getting stagnant at times in the second half. That first half, I think it was 17 assists on your first 20 baskets. What was working so well with you guys offensively early on?
What done good for us in the first?
I get jumbled on it here. You're right. What was working so well offensively in the first half for you guys tonight?
Moving the ball. I thought we moved the ball really good. Obviously, with the 17 assists in the first half, we've done a good job of being able to find open guys, good to great. Being able to attack the paint, finding open guys. Credit to their defense in the second half too. They found ways to be able to stop that penetration, get the ball out of certain guys' hands. And again, back to the chemistry, it's just trying to find those guys on the floor that works. But at the end of the day, I think, again, if we're able to find a way to control the game on the defensive end and let that flow to the offensive end, and now we're coming downhill with a little bit of momentum in transition, and that's how we would like to play. But credit to how they came out in the second half and were more physical and running around and made us scramble.
Patty, you had that cold stretch where I think you were 6 for 24 from downtown for those few games.
I just moved to New York. I haven't got any warm clothes yet to be able to.
So it's the cold weather.
Stay warm.
It's cold. But I mean, you shot 9 of 12 from downtown against OKC, 2 of 5 against the Warriors, and tonight 6 of 12 from downtown. Is that kind of how it is for you? Are you kind of like used to the ups and the downs in the season? Or are you still kind of trying to find your rhythm to be consistent the entire way?
I've mentioned it before about, whether it's a team standpoint or an individual standpoint, not riding the highs and the lows too much and just going day by day and keep on trucking and keep sticking with it. This is obviously been doing it for a long time and trusting the process of how I've got to where I am now. And that's millions and millions of hours and shots and everything. So you just got to stay the course. It's a game of basketball. Sometimes it goes in, sometimes it doesn't, but you stay the course. But I think back to the other question, it's also finding the chemistry on court and where you can get to your spots and where you can, find open ones and feel good about it too. So I think there's a number of factors in it, but the bottom line is you never ride the highs too high, you never ride the lows too low, and you just stay the course and stick with it.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but you've come off the bench for most of your career. Do you enjoy starting?
It's different for sure. Obviously with who I'm playing, but it's a challenge in itself to be able to work out how to get a rhythm, how to impact the game, and I think it's a challenge, and you just got to keep learning on the fly, I guess. And I've mentioned this before, but I'm in such a great learning environment from the people that I keep bugging and asking questions on how I can develop and get better, from the coaches and the coaching staff to the players. So, I think it's one of those things of whatever role or position that I'm put in, you just got to try and maximize it as much as you can, and make an impact on the team.